Okay, this is going to be a real short tutorial on what the pin layouts mean on this board to run an external receiver, for instance, Futaba, Hitec, whatever the case is. If you're not running a satellite receiver, this is the method you use. If you notice on the board, there's a different set of pins here on the side. You have some pins on the bottom here, and you have some pins across the top. Should be 4 pins and 3 pins on the bottom. Turn it sideways, you can see the 3 pins. So what this means is the ones that are vertical are actually going to be your throttle channel. The top one is going to be your negative, and it's going to go positive in the middle, and then signal on the bottom. Where the pins on top are actually all going to be signal, but for each of the channels. So the far right one is going to be your aileron, elevator, rudder, and this is your aux channel. Aux channel is going to be designated in the software as auxiliary. You can set it up as aux 1, aux 2, or aux 3. I use it as aux 1, and then I've in my transmitter I've designated auxiliary 1 to F mode or idle up switch, whatever that is. It's just easier for me having helicopter background. So you have to designate that or that won't work. You have to highlight the switch as being auxiliary 1 is your idle up switch, and of course rudder, aileron, or elevator and aileron, and the throttle's on the bottom. So as far as the receiver is concerned, I didn't have the single pins, but if you're running Spektrum on the outside, it's actually fairly easy. You run the throttle channel just like you would with a throttle channel, negative being, polarity correct, and then if you look, you've got aileron, elevator, rudder. And I'm just running a 3-pin on the signal, so I'm just taking a extension that's same side, and then it'll basically plug into across the different pins here. So aileron, elevator, rudder, and of course it will just plug straight in like so, as long as it matches up. And that's just getting the signal wire. The power that comes through the throttle channel is actually giving the receiver power. And then of course you have your auxiliary channel. Don't have a single pin here to show you an example, but I can just plug in one channel and one channel here and do the job. If you have a single wire, it should work just fine, and run that directly to your auxiliary channel, which in this one would obviously be the last one here, and I'm just going to use the signal wire. So basically you're just going to run the signal to the idle up switch or auxiliary 1. It's real simple. I did this for testing, but if you're going to be flying it, I'd probably run this whole thing nice and neat and tuck the receiver in, tuck the receiver in here, and then run all the wires into there nice and neat, or come up through it on the bottom side, however you wish to do it. But that's basically it. That's the real simple tutorial on how this works, and that should allow you to run an external receiver. Now the code is written for that. You can't run a satellite obviously with the code that's flashed onto this board particularly, because it's designated to a different set of pins out. These won't be here for the Spektrum guys running a satellite, and the code will designate that, saying that it's running Spektrum satellite, and it only allows it to work with it. Won't run with an external receiver, and vice versa. If you don't have it set up for it, then it only works with the external receiver, and that's what these pins are for. So there you go. Hopefully that helps out.